Place to start my flight at. Actually, I don't even think you can do pushback in a Cessna, even at like Tampa International or one of the bigger airports. But it only takes a couple seconds to change it. I had selected here, but as you've seen, there's all these components I would have run into, so I'll just select right here. All right. Time of day is still the same. Cool. We'll get right back into it. No big deal. Just have to restart. I am excited for the new Microsoft Flight Sim. Comes out on November 19th. So, of course, as soon as that drops, I'll more than likely stream it. But the graphics are insane for that one. Along with that, you got all these different aviation jobs, and they don't just throw you into an aviation job. You have to like essentially build skill points and work your way up. So I thought that's pretty cool. Along with the cool avatars, so you can actually walk around outside of the plane. There's so many cool things about the new flight sim coming out. details are. We all thought 2020 was incredible with some details, but this is going to be crazy when it comes out. All right, I'm in the aircraft. Because I'm looking at this at a screen just for right now, I'm going to hide the yoke because I can't see all these other instruments down here. But anyways, I'm not, this is flight sim. I'm not doing a walk around flight test or inspection anyways, but let's see where my fuel gauges are at. All right, so fuel right now is about 50%. So again, I'd like to adjust that back to 75%. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go with 70%. There we go. All right. So let's make sure our fuel is open. Let's see. Fuel valve on. Mixture 100%. Let's make sure our parking brake is on. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. Cabin heat in. Alrighty. Let's turn on the magnetos here. Both, yes. So we're doing it on a mouse. Alrighty. So we got good engine start. We're gonna let the gyros and everything, like right here, all these instruments level out. Make sure that oil pressure is good. As you can see, when I upped the fuel quantity, I'm at 70% fuel. Parking brake is engaged, cool. All right, so the next thing I want to do is I'd like to set my trim for takeoff trim, which I'm gonna move it about. Oop. That's good right there. All right, nav lights on, beacon lights on. Even though it's daytime, it's still good to have those. Don't need the strobe lights. It's daytime. Don't need cabin lighting. Taxi lights on. We'll go ahead and flip the landing lights on as well. Alrighty, I can put my yoke back out here. There we go. All right, let me get a quick weather briefing from ATC. Make sure that I set my gauges correctly here. It should automatically be set for whatever flight sim generates, but just to be safe, it doesn't hurt to do a weather tune in here. Automated weather update, here we go. You actually have to do this, and when you go flying, you tune into that frequency and listen. I know everything's clear because I played God and I set what the weather was going to be for this flight. Alrighty. Oop, I'm grabbing the wrong mouse here. I do not want my computer mouse right now. I forget how you make it shut up. Alright, that's all. Alright, so I'm not even bothering tuning into ATC right now because, like I said, I'm doing a VFR flight out of Tampa, or I'm sorry, Albert Wooded Airport in St. Pete. And basically, I can't really even talk to them if I wanted to, other than clicking some buttons. Oh, they do have pushback here. Look at this guy. You guys do have pushback. What the hell? All right. Well, let's go. I don't really need it. All right. Let's go ahead and get up in the air. Everything looks good. Let's see. It's like, oop, wrong button. This is so weird, man. From doing this in real life and then having to, like, it's so hard to look around in the flight sim. Kind of wish this was VR. Just turn your head. So weird pushing a button. But anyways, park and brake disengaged. Let's give her a little bit of power. I'm just gonna pretend he's not there because I can't make him move. So gonna taxi out here. Just take right off. Let's check for traffic once we get up here to the line. See, I picked a great place to take off from because all I had to do was just a little loop-de-loo here to the runway. Park and brake engaged. Oh. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to check for traffic, air traffic. It looks good. I am going to go ahead and taxi out here. Everything looks clear. Alrighty. I'm not going to bother doing a stop on the runway either. I'm just going to take straight out. Um, looks like a little helicopter up there flying over the airport. Just pull right out here and give it full power. Already got my trim set. That looks good. All right, here we go. Guess I'll put my flaps down to 20 degrees. I want that needle to get up to about 60 knots. As you can see, there we go. And then she'll just start gliding off the ground right there. Look at that. Beautiful. Oh, you can see the shadows. See, 2020 is pretty good. Sorry about that, guys. So I have my headphones plugged into the regular Xbox controller here, and unfortunately it automatically shuts itself off. So right now I'm using my rudders primarily to turn, and I level, as you can see my yoke right in front of me, I have it level, but I'm still turning because I'm using my rudders. Isn't that pretty cool? And you got a little bit more smoother control of the aircraft when you do it that way. So right now we're flying over downtown St. Pete. You can see we're, holy shit, the graphics are horrible right now, probably because of internet speed or whatever, but it can't load them fast enough. There's too much detail, but imagine what 2024 is going to be like. So we're going to fly over Tropicana Field right now. There's a trop up ahead. As you can see, after Hurricane Milton, the trop lost its top, and in Flight Sim it still has its top. It's kind of sad because I don't think they're going to fix it. I think they're just going to let it go because they're supposed to be knocking it down. And oh, hello, helicopter. How you doing? All right, put my flaps back up. Feel comfortable enough at this altitude right now. I still don't have rudder pedals for the setup that I have, but I am planning on purchasing some rudder pedals in the future. I'm waiting for Microsoft Flight 24 or 2024 to come out first, and then I'll get that. Right now, I'm trying to control my rudders and my yoke stick that I have here, and it's not the same as being able to use them, then twisting. Essentially, I have to twist my hand in order to go left or right in those directions. And if it seems a little bit jerky like this when I do it, it's just because I don't have the same kind of feeling as you would in using your foot. But right now I'm kind of circling Tropicana Field right now. I'm probably at about a 30-degree angle. I can't talk. 30 degrees angle bank turn, which, by the way, my flight instructor said it's shocking that I don't mind being in a 30-degree angle like this because, well, most people are sketched out by the heights, and it feels very uncomfortable when you're at this angle because you feel like you're going to fall out of the plane. Most student pilots will kind of turn around 20 degrees, which would be right here. Let me see if my cursor shows up on the screen. I think it does. But right here is how you can tell what kind of degrees you're in. So right here, your level. Right here is going to be 10 degrees. Right there, 10 degrees, 20 degrees, which is the common one, and then 30 degrees, essentially you're pretty maxed out, especially for a Cessna like this. But I don't mind it. I like flying at, when I'm turning like this, I like being at 30 degrees. I feel like you can see more on the ground. It doesn't bother me. All right, so right now I'm at full power. I'm still only about 80 knots because I'm still climbing altitude here. But if I level off, you see the speed start to go up there on the top left, which is right here, this gauge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and keep it around 80. So I'm going to pull back on my power. Make another nice little turn here, trying to use the rudder pedals by twisting my hand here. So last time I went up and I went flying, what we practiced a lot was actually something like this. So he would say, all right, go ahead and bank a left turn. And the thing that I had to pay attention to was he said, I do not want you to go up in altitude when you turn, and I don't want you to lose altitude when you turn. So this right here, essentially, I kept looking at this every time I turned to make sure that I was center lined right on the horizon here. And he told me, he said, hey, don't use your instruments as much, just look out the window and look at the nose of the plane, and then just kind of keep it in the same place that it is as you're turning. And when he told me that, it was 100% easier to turn without, going up or down. Because a lot of people, when they turn in an airplane, you don't realize it, but you push down on the yoke like this a little bit. So as you're turning, you're picking up a lot of speed, and you're losing altitude, which is not good if you're not planning on doing that. So anyways, I'm going to pull back up here. We've just been circling around downtown St. Pete. I'm going to fly up to Clearwater, I believe. Going a little bit too fast, so I'm going to pull back on the power some more. Another thing too is about the trim. So the whole point of the trim is to be able to take my hands off of the yoke completely and keep the plane flying at the same level. So as you can see, I have my hand, well, you can't see, but my hands are off of the yoke, and the plane is wanting to, what's it wanting? So it's wanting to pitch its nose down right now. So if I come here, while I'm flying, hands are still off, you can see that it's slightly adjusting it, so now it's down. I can pitch this trim until I get to a more comfortable level, so I'd say about right there. So it kind of just holds my pitch, like, for me. Less work that you got to do. Or I can just turn it off, it doesn't matter. So if I go outside of the plane, your trim is right here. This little piece right here on the back of the aircraft. When you pitch your trim, it kind of pitches this little tiny piece of flap right here, up or down, which controls your leveling. Almost like automatic cruise control for a car, essentially. Alright, so back in the cockpit. I did not really want to go over the water, so I'm going to turn back. Oh, it's so hard to use my rudders now. Now that I actually know what I'm doing, it's so hard to not do it with my feet. I'm trying to keep the steering wheel level as I turn too, but what I used to do was I used to just hold the steering wheel over to turn, which is what you would do in a car, but in a plane, you use your yoke to get into the turn, and then you level off and use your rudder, and as you can see, it's very jerky. Alright, so back over downtown St. Pete, I'm going to go out to the west coast. By the way, all of this area here that I'm flying over right now was devastated by Hurricane Milton and Hurricane Helene. All of this flooded pretty much, like all of downtown St. Pete, old northeast St. Pete up that way. Southside St. Pete, all these little coastal areas all flooded from storm surge in the first hurricane. And of course, how could you forget Tropicana Field up ahead, right in front of me? The tarp blew off, or the top of the trop is gone now. Alright, so right now I'm flying about 100 knots. I can pull back on power just a little bit. These Cessnas are capable of doing about 160 knots, but I mean, you're kind of pushing it. So just kind of keep it nice and level. Everything looks good. There's a drop. Trying to get a nice one outside the meter. Oh, it's so hard to control the meters. Alrighty. So we're just flying out to St. Pete Beach right now. I believe the Don Cesar should be somewhere out this way. And increase power. Gosh, I will give Flight Sim this. Like, this cockpit right now feels exactly what I'm accustomed to in real life. Like, even where the placement of the instruments are is exactly the same as what I fly. I think I even posted a picture of it. The only thing that's slightly different is the layout of my transponders right here, which I forgot to turn that on. There we go. Oh, it's on. Alright, so I do want to increase my altitude. I'm going to go up to about 1,500 feet. You can also see my vertical speed. So right now it's telling me how fast I'm going to ascend. And then when I descend, like, you'll see the needle kind of pitch down, and it tells you what your vertical ground speed is. So that's another instrument that you can use to tell how fast you are going from the air, or like what your ground speed is essentially. Let's pull back on that power. I don't know if the mod here is going to load the Don Cesar Hotel up here, but it would be cool if they did. It's very pretty looking. Hello, helicopter. The graphics on the Xbox are extremely limited, so my plan is to actually get a PC eventually, so I can get like my full bang for my buck out of Flight Sim 2024, because I'm actually going to be using it as a tool through school. And the reason I'm so excited for the new 2024 update is, again, the career mode. So like a couple aviation jobs that I have interest in doing eventually are actually in Microsoft Flight Sim. So it'll be cool to test those out and see what it takes to train for those jobs. Actually, you know what? Instead of going to 1,500 feet, I think I'm just going to level out here. Go back on that power. Oh, that's cool. I don't see the Don Cesar, though. What the hell? Oh, well. Alright, so I'm going to bank a turn here. We're going to just kind of cruise up and down the beaches. Oh, maybe... Oop, I did not mean to do that. There we go. I don't know, maybe it is here, and it just hasn't loaded yet. Outside. I don't see it. Should be down there a little bit, actually. Trying to use that rudder. It's extremely sketchy to do it, like having to twist your hand on the yoke to get your rudder pedals to go left or right. Like, it's so weird. I could actually just turn on automatic rudder in Flight Sim, which I probably should do until I get rudder pedals, but I don't know. I don't want Flight Sim flying the plane for me. Like, I want to be able to just fly it. But that is an option. There's a little bit of turbulence there. So right now I'm just kind of coasting up the beaches. Graphics aren't too bad. Could be better. We just got some random helicopter flying out into the Gulf of Mexico for no reason. Nothing to see out there. Well, it could be a rescue helicopter, I guess. Guard. AP Beach is awesome. They increase power just slightly. And another thing too, I'm gonna say is it is actually much harder to fly for me in Microsoft Flight Sim than it is in a real airplane. And the only reason for that is like in a real airplane, I can easily just go and push or adjust my trim, whatever I need to do, because you're there, you can reach out and push it. Microsoft Flight Sim, it's almost like you gotta essentially lose control of the aircraft temporarily just to move your head around, see what you're about to push, and then I don't know. I feel like I lose like range of motion, coordination, and all that stuff in flight sim. So it's actually harder flight sim, I think it is, in flying a real airplane. Sorry about that. My microphone and headset shut off again. I gotta figure out a way to make this controller not automatically time itself out because I'm not using it. I mean, technically, I could use audio through StreamYard, but then it's going to be like my audio is going to be delayed from what I'm doing in the actual video. So I'm using Twitch to stream this through, and I got to plug the microphone directly into Flight Sim and the controller I'm using, so you all can get audio real time with what's happening on screen. So I guess I gotta keep hitting a button on the controller every 10 minutes, and it should be good. So right now I'm just, like I said, I'm coasting. We're in Pinellas County. St. Pete Airport, where I just took off out of, is over there. And we are approaching Clearwater, is up there, northeast, kind of see it. Could do a little touch and go up at Clearwater Air Park. Oops. Man, it is so hard to look around in this thing. See, I'm doing about 100 knots right now. If I wanted to like dramatically lose airspeed, all I'd have to do is pitch the nose up. Let that airspeed go down. I want airspeed again, pitch the nose back down. That easy. That's another way without even touching the throttle. There's that helicopter again. I feel like he's following me. Alright. I forget Clearwater Air Park if it's a bigger airport or a smaller like grass field airport. I can't remember, so I'm about to fly over it and find out. I do want to lower my altitude a little bit. So pull back on my power, pitch nose down. I'd like to get closer to around 1,000 feet. And probably come all the way back on the power. There we go. That vertical speed is pretty high. That's all right. All right, that's cool. Now I can do a little bit of a Slower descent down to 1,000 from here. Believe. Actually, don't know which beach this is. I'm kind of thrown off a little bit. Where am I? I'd like to say that that is Reddington Beach or Indian Rocks Beach, maybe. If not, then it could be Clearwater Beach. I might have passed all that. I don't know. There's no landmarks loaded that I can like look at and be like, oh, I know where I am. Let me see what roadways we got here. Kind of hard to tell. I don't see US 19. That would be kind of in the middle there. Hello, Mr. Helicopter. All right, I'd like to say this is Clearwater Beach. So that whole layout there kind of reminds me of Clearwater Beach right there. So yeah, way past Indian Rocks Beach. All right, now I kind of know where I am. I just recognize the roadways there. Oh, that's cool. You can see the shadow of the airplane flying over the golf courses right now. Yeah, 2020 has some decent like details that they had in it, and back when it first came out, of course everybody was crazy and they were like, "Oh my gosh, this is so cool" compared to what it used to be like. But man, like the 2020 coming out is really, I don't know, man. Like I think most people are excited for it because it's going to be better than this, and this was already pretty good. Like they're saying you're going to see each individual grass on the ground in in-game play, rocks, formations, and all that. Like the Grand Canyon's actually going to look like the Grand Canyon and not pixelated. Just the attention to detail is what they really improved on this time. And also another cool thing that they're adding into the new flight sim is actual animals, like just in across the entire world, wherever like certain animals are supposed to be in the world. If you fly and land in certain areas, you can see those animals. Or they fly over Africa, you can see giraffes on the ground. That's going to be cool. And the engines that they're using to run the animals is actually from Zoo Tycoon or Tycoon Zoo or whatever. So they partnered with them, and they're just essentially copying those engines of those animals, which are very detailed, by the way, and they're pumping them in the flight sim. So that's going to be really cool once that comes out. All right, so looks like Clearwater Air Park is a actual runway. So what I'm going to do is pull back on the power here, lower my flaps to 20 degrees, bank right here. So what I want to do real quick is I go south, and then I'm going to kind of slide slip my way and line up with the runway and descend on final. Do a quick touch and go. Alrighty. Just real quick, let me pitch my trim here. Oops, my bad. Wrong way. -3 degrees is good. See, it's like I can't even move my head around. It's so weird. Alright, let's bank left. Back on that power just a bit. Once I hit final, I'm gonna put some more flaps out. Get it lined up a little bit better here. Essentially, I'm using. Oh, so hard to use the twist your hand rudder on this yoke here, man. Like it sucks. All right, we're gonna go flaps full, pull back on power for now. Increase power actually. A little bit of tailwind. Try and get lined up. I want to be right around 60 knots. Which I'm at. I am at full flap, so that's good. There we go. Lined up just perfectly. Look at that. Alright, pull back on the power, which is good. Apply brakes. So weird not even being able to apply brakes with your feet. That's where the brakes are at on the Cessna 150 anyways, is you push in on the rudder pedals to brake. Let's get off the runway here. Looks pretty clear to me. Alright. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go over to that taxiway, I think. Just gonna pull kind of straight right here. Get turned around. There we go. Alrighty, look at that. Perfect landing. I guess I can put my flaps back up. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and just power it down. And this is the easiest way to power down. Just go here to mixture, pull that out. Boom. Now I can turn my magneto off. There goes the propeller. Oh wow. Alright. Next thing that I can do is come down here, cut the fuel valve off. The next thing would be to put my trim back to take off trim. So that's ready to go for the next flight. Turn all these lights off. Make sure nothing's on. All right, that all looks good. And then, the only thing I forgot to do, and the reason I didn't even bother is because it's so hard to do stuff like this while you're landing in flight sim, because you have to like stop what you're doing and use your mouse to do it. But I should have pulled the cabin heat all the way out, and then you push it back in before you turn the aircraft off. But yeah, it doesn't even really matter in flight sim like it does in real life, so it didn't affect anything. All right, power off. And that is the Cessna 152 flight. So essentially I did a VFR flight. I flew out of Alfred Woodard Airport, and then we just landed at Clearwater Air Park after flying around Pinellas County and then up and down the beach coast, the west coast there. All right, so I'm gonna go back to the main menu, fly out of somewhere else. See what other kind of flights I want to do. I would really like to go out here and do maybe around the Grand Canyon, so people can see what the Grand Canyon looks like in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 or 2020. I almost said 2022. And then once 2024 comes out, I can do Grand Canyon with that. I forget where the Grand Canyon is. I thought it was in like Arizona. Hold on. Is it up here? No, I don't think this is it. Wait, what state was that in? Fuck. I'm geographically challenged, by the way. No, that's definitely not it. I'm pretty sure it's down here somewhere. Could be wrong. Thought it was like, no, that's Colorado River. What about up here? This is Death Valley, right? No. Well, either way, I'm just gonna fly out of here. There's a lot to see out here. The only thing is I gotta find an aircraft that I want to use. For this one, I'm just gonna departure VFR off of the runway, already on the runway with everything on. Aircraft selection, I'm gonna go with the different aircraft because again, I am in Flight Sim. Why not?
Uniform Tango 25, traffic November Bravo Tree 65, taking off runway Tree 4 North departure.
A minute to realize that my mic was off. This controller keeps shutting off on me. Anyways, welcome Ben. Glad you're here. Glad you can make over there on YouTube.
Salt Lake Tower Savage, November Bravo Tree 65 ready at runway tree 4 left straight out departure.
Savage November Bravo Tree 65 wind 259er at 5. Departing straight out approved. Cleared for takeoff runway tree 4 left.
Damn. The rudder in this plane is very sensitive. A slight little jerk of the wrist, man. I'm barely moving my wrist left and then right. It just wants to go. You gotta get rudder pedals. They do have Throttle Master rudder pedals that will actually go with the yoke that I have. But right now my yoke is a stick, so it's a stick light type thing for my setup. And what I need to get is an actual yoke, the same yoke that is in the Cessna. So they do have a package that I can use for now on Xbox, and it comes with rudder pedals. So that is actually what I'm going to end up getting, I think. And it will be so much easier to fly Microsoft Flight Sim to get that. Nice, I'm about 7,300 feet right now. It's a much slower descent because, or I mean, sorry, not descent. I'm ascending a lot slower because if I pitch up too high, I immediately lose airspeed in this plane. It kind of sucks. So very slowly I am getting higher. Also, this is not the same kind of airplane that they would be using for crop dusting or toting banners around. That is a different aircraft, which I don't even see in Flight Sim. I'll check them. Actually, you know what? I'm going to check the marketplace for it, see if I can find one. But I'm not going to purchase anything more for the 2020 Flight Sim. Like, I'm not going to purchase any more aircraft. I'm just going to wait for the 2024 to come out, and then I'll see what they got. Because I'm sure even the aircraft. So what they said was anything that I purchased for 2020 as far as aircraft are concerned, whether it's third party or through Microsoft themselves, essentially they said I can use, I don't know what I just did. Oh, there we go. But anyways, they said that it will roll over to 2024. I just hope that they update the graphics on what rolls over, or they don't charge you for that, I guess. Let's see what this bush plane can do. Look at that. Oh no, I overstressed the aircraft and we're all dead. Alright. So that plane is not, I'm not a fan. I actually like the Cessna better because the 150 or 152, because I feel like you can do more without overstressing it, but whatever. Yeah, let me go to Marketplace real quick. I'm just curious. The plane I'm talking about is a lot more powerful. It's got way more horsepower to it. A little bit bigger aircraft. Let's see. Let me see this one real quick. This looks actually new. New Fox 2. Oh, this is cool. All right, so they've already started rolling out some of the aircraft for 2024 Flight Sim, because so this whole setup here, you can't do it in 2020, but when you land somewhere out in the world, like the picture that's on screen, you could set up a tent. Your avatar, your person can get out of the aircraft. You can walk around in first person, and you could take pictures of wildlife because everything's crazy detailed. But it looks like they've already started launching some of these plane models for that. This might actually be the one that was in the trailer. It's so cool. It even comes with the tent and everything. What's crazy to me is it's only $499. But again, I'm sure they'll have a different version of this one for the new flight sim. But they got a lot of. All right, so I just want to look at the piston planes. I want to see if they have a crop duster. They will have one in 2024 because that is one of the aviation jobs that you can earn skill points for and train for in the flight sim. So that, and also, actually, this might be a model for that. Let me see. 180 horsepower. No, this is not it. Just another bush plane. It kind of looked like it had like, I don't know if this picture's hard to see, but like behind the wing, it looks like it has these little rivets that are for the sprayers. I don't know if they have it in 2020. I've never seen a model aircraft for that in here before. And it's because they didn't have career mode, so what's the point, right? I think I'm also excited for the airplane or the jet or whatever. I can't remember the name of it, but it's the very small personal private jet that you fly around executives in. That looks like that's gonna be cool. That's another job you can do where they got like the celebrity red carpet to the plane, and your job is to fly them from point A to point B. That's gonna be cool. Whatever that jet is called. Oh, that's cool. They got C-46 here. Yeah, I'm just not gonna buy any more aircraft until the new flight sim comes out, but I just wanted to see if they had one, like a crop duster banner plane. There are similar models to it, but again, uh, not the same kind of horsepower, different features. Oh, they got a J160. I don't see it. I'm pretty sure it would be under this category of pistons. They definitely got a lot you could pick from. I'll give them that, but nope, I don't see. These are all the ones I own. So I actually already purchased the C182, which is very similar, I think, to the 172, except the landing gear goes up in the Cessna, making it a little bit more aerodynamic. All right, I'm gonna go back. I don't see it. Turbo plane. Actually, you know what? It could be under turbo planes. There's only 32 to pick from, so let me look. It kind of looks like. It would be a. You know what? It would be classified as a turboprop because it's got way more horsepower. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, like, look at the difference. All those other pistons were around like 180 horsepower, 1600 shaft horsepower. Single engine low winged advanced military trainer. I don't think this is a crop duster though. Similar look, except that the crop duster is much bigger than this. Oh, they got a C160. I can't believe I never bought this. I did think about it a couple times because the features are you can like actually have parachuters jumping out of it. But I'll wait till the new one comes out. They don't have. Oh, they got an Osprey now? What the hell? That is a Marine aircraft. Can I get a Cirrus jet? I'm sure they have that in here. Let's see why they wouldn't. But I'm not gonna buy anything until the new flight sim comes out, because I don't want to purchase something and then when it rolls over to the new flight sim, the graphics just aren't in line with the new flight sim. What I'll do is at the end of the stream, I'm gonna play the trailer to the new Microsoft 2024. I won't be able to talk or anything in it, but I'll kind of play that as the outro. Looks like they did get a new A4. Yeah, I mean, even the aircraft in the new flight sim's just going to be amazing. They got a Tiger now. I don't remember them having some of these aircraft last time I came through here. It's been a minute since I purchased anything through Flight Sim. Ever since I knew the new 2024 is coming out, I don't remember buying. I think the last thing I actually bought was, I'd like to say, what was the last thing I bought? It might have been the Cessna 182, because I think I bought it because I started going to aviation school. And oh, no way, they got one of these. This is the same one. Isn't this the same plane that Chuck Yeager flew when he broke the sound barrier? I thought this was the same one. It says Sim Skunkworks, so I know Skunkworks made it. I don't know. It looks very similar to the plane that was used to break the sound barrier first. I don't think that's it though. This picture, it looks like it, but you can fly like Iron Man. These are, so all these different planes right here, like the L-39C, these are actual planes that you can go up in tours and stuff like that in the real world. These are more common civilian jets, but you still can't go past the sound barrier in those. I don't see anything. They got another 104G right here. Man, I am so excited for the new. Oh, these are all the ones I own. Yeah, I'm so excited for the new flight sim, man. Like, I can't wait to see what the aircraft models are gonna look like. Like, even the way the lights and the shadows hit the controls in the cockpit are gonna be so realistic. That was one of the major details that they upgraded for this new flight sim. And I will say, every single time Microsoft puts out a new flight sim, they actually make it way better than the previous one. Unlike games like Madden or MLB The Show, where basically it's the same exact thing that they just copy and paste every year, and people pay for it because they're like, oh, cool, it's the next season, but they don't really change much. Flight Sim actually puts a lot of work. But anyways, that's pretty much it for, I think, my Flight Sim stream. I'm gonna play the trailer, the new trailer that they just dropped for Flight Sim 2024, which I hope people are hyped for, because if you like flying like I do, or maybe you like flying and you can't afford to go to aviation school, I really think that the new Flight Sim will make you feel like you're in a plane, actually, especially if you do the VR. I know I'm excited. I know I'll do way more Flight Sim streams in the future with that, because I don't know. I just got kind of bored doing streams with Flight Sim in 2020, because I just felt like the graphics were never there. I think it's going to be way more entertaining to watch the career mode, where you're learning how to crop dust or do search and rescue missions or fly executives around the world. Like that stuff I feel like will be more exciting for people to tune into and watch. So that will be awesome. Again, I'll see how it goes on Xbox when I download the new Flight Sim. We'll see how good the graphics are with the internet speeds. I know that I can't have any faster internet than I already do. I have the 1 terabyte package, so I can't get faster internet. So if it doesn't load properly or something, I'm gonna have to change the console in which that I'm on and switch to a PC, which is cool. But either way, it'll be exciting once that comes out. November 19th. In fact, I think I have it downloaded already on the Xbox, or I have it set to download when it does come out. All right, so while I'm talking to you guys, let me get queued up here. I'll have to do a new screen share on my computer, but I'm gonna pull the new Flight Sim trailer up. Ben, I could watch the new Flight Sim trailer over and over and over again. It looks so awesome. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this, I'm going to end the stream right after, and then I'm going to switch gears and go live and do a Madden stream, just to kind of chill out with something a little bit more fun. For me, I mean, I enjoy doing Flight Sim and stuff, but I feel like I'm doing schoolwork, right? I'm just, essentially I'm live streaming schoolwork, or practicing, maneuvers and stuff like that. That's pretty much as you could do in Flight Sim, is just essentially practice what you learned with an actual instructor. But the downside right now is I don't have the proper setup to be able to do that accurately. So once I get that set up, it'll be a lot better. All right, let me see. Where is the trailer? Actually, I got a cool little video here, and it looks like, so Flight Sim did a demo, I guess, recently, and people recorded it. A little 12-minute video here. I'll go ahead and play that. And then after, because they'll talk a little bit more about it, because they actually tested it out, the beta version of it. It looks pretty interesting. It's called the first preview. All right, let me click on this. And I'll probably only do about an hour Madden stream because I have to be up for work at 5 in the morning, which is not fun, but got to do what I got to do. So I can't be up crazy late tonight. All right, so as soon as I stop sharing the screen, you guys aren't going to be able to hear me talk anymore. So if you don't hear me, it's because I'm talking to you guys through Twitch right now, through my controller. So I guess I'll say goodnight to the ones that were watching this stream now. Just give me a minute, and then I'm going to do a screen share, and we'll jump over to Flight Sim 2024. All right, thank you all for tuning in. Enjoy this 9-minute video.
In 2020, Microsoft Flight Simulator gave us the world. In 2024, Microsoft Flight Simulator is letting us live in it. And man, oh man, I cannot wait to live there. 5 years ago, I was at the preview event for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and I left in total disbelief of what I'd seen. And the final 10 out of 10 version did not disappoint. Fast forward to today, and I was having a hard time imagining what a new version could add that would bring the same sense of awe that I had the first time I experienced the world at my fingertips. Well, my friends, after my first time playing Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, I am honestly more excited for the upcoming entry into the series than I was after my initial hands-on with the Flight Sim 2020 back in 2019.
I'm sure you will get your PPL in no time.
So career mode is easily the biggest addition to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, and Asobo, the team behind Microsoft Flight Simulator, will tell you it's the defining feature of the upcoming sim. I kind of think they're selling themselves a little bit short, but it is absolutely the biggest new addition to the Flight Simulator formula. First and foremost, it's much more open than I had anticipated. There's no pinned coordinate on the map to start your journey. You build your avatar and start at any airport in the entire world. You meet your mentor and take off on a familiarization flight, and from there you progress from a rank amateur, like me, to an aviation mogul, if that's what you feel like. The interface in career mode is familiar to anyone who's been gaming for any period of time. It looks kind of like the traditional skill tree you might find in a Spider-Man game, for example, but it tracks your aviation certifications. Eventually, you can earn enough money through career mode to start your own aviation business if you like. If you'd rather gamify the sim experience without pouring yourself into career mode, there's a new ranked challenge league. Challenges aren't new to Flight Sim, but the competitiveness has been taken up with rankings and a constantly rotating assortment of new challenges each week. I tried the FA-18 Hornet race through the Grand Canyon during my hands-on with Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. What I really loved about it was how the flight model in challenge mode remains the same as it is in the rest of the sim. So in other words, it's not an arcadey sim-like. You have to complete the challenges given all the aerodynamics, handling, and physics found in the greater sim. Everything is true to life. It was a lot of fun, and damn it if I can't wait to race in the final game with my Thrustmaster flight stick and throttle.
41 leaving my airspace frequency change.
The standard version of Microsoft Flight Simulator will have 38 new aircraft, including one of my all-time favorites, the A-10 Warthog. I took some time to fly one from its home base at Davis-Monthan Air Force Base in Tucson, Arizona, and was really impressed with how it feels and flies, as well as the level of detail in Davis-Monthan's famous aircraft boneyard, a monstrous graveyard of decommissioned airplanes inside the base. Oh, and I may have inadvertently pumped my fist and said, yes! When they showed the C-17 Globemaster as one of the upcoming planes, but that can't be proven. Yes, it can. I just admitted to it. When I say everything has been improved upon, it doesn't really do justice to the scale at which Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 builds on its predecessor. The detail on the ground in any given area has increased 4,000 times over 2020. So snow, mud, and even grass will show wheel marks if you roll through it. We did see a brief glimpse of a bush plane with its oversized tires caked with mud, and that wasn't just for illustrative purposes. If you land in the mud, it's going to stick, and it just might affect how your plane handles when you're back in the air. Another massive overhaul in 2024 is the physics system. To demonstrate, the team showed us the effects of rotor wash and wake turbulence. If you've ever wondered why planes don't just take off one right after another in rapid succession, wake turbulence is the answer. In Flight Sim 2024, every aircraft has a path of wake turbulence behind it, and the wake turbulence is affected by the weather conditions. At an airport with two runways parallel to one another, for example, a crosswind can actually push the turbulence from one runway to the other, and in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, that behavior is also present. The team has also integrated real-world ship tracking into Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 using readily available transponder data, updated every 30 seconds. I took a flight around my home airport in Maine and had forgotten that a rather large cruise ship was anchored in the harbor nearest my house. But I remembered instantly once I saw it sitting in the exact location in the sim as it was in real life. Water physics have also been improved, which will affect takeoff and landing distances for seaplanes and other craft capable of landing in the water. The team doesn't yet have a solution to realistically pitch big ships, so you won't be able to practice your carrier landings in the FA-18 Hornet in pitching seas quite yet. But given how much and how often Flight Simulator is updated, I am sure it's just a matter of time. Meanwhile, every helipad on the planet, let me say that again, every helipad on planet Earth is now in Flight Simulator 2024. That is over 80,000, a number that includes all 941 offshore oil rigs. The team also created the first database to track every glider airport in the world. They also modeled over 1 million tall hazards, including radio towers and other obstructions, so keep an eye out. Head of Microsoft Flight Simulator Jorg Newman told me the goal is to get Flight Sim as real as Earth, and it goes even further than just making sure every hazard is expressed in-game. So, for example, people in the game will speak the language from their countries of origin. If you walk through the cabin of your simulated transatlantic flight from, let's say, Germany to the United States, you're going to hear people speaking both German and English. Animals also have gotten a huge upgrade utilizing an open source animal tracking database to simulate population density and even movement from day to day. In other words, if there's a place with zebras on planet Earth, you're going to be able to find them in Flight Sim, and not just as a location in the UI like the current iteration. Even with all the upgrades to the graphics and physics, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 promises to be a lighter experience on your hard drive than Flight Sim 2020 currently is. If you've ever changed the drive location of Flight Sim or had to, re-download it, oh my God, you know the pain of pulling down hundreds of gigs of data. Thankfully, Flight Sim 2024 addresses these problems with cloud streaming. If you're not going to fly around the whole world, why do you need to download it all? Same with airplanes. If you tend to only fly one or two, there is no reason to have the entire fleet living on your drive. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 officially releases in November, and for me, a person who spent a lot of the pandemic and the years since obsessed with Flight Simulator and aviation as a whole, it cannot come soon enough. I am suitably impressed with what I saw. Everything good is better now, and everything new looks awesome and
This is for all those who are skeptical or excited about the new Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 career mode. I'm going to break down exactly how it works, what you can do, and what you can't do. One of the main features of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 is the career mode. And to my surprise, it's actually a lot more detailed than I expected. So let me show you how it works. On first launch, you will create and customize your own avatar. The face, hair, clothes, and even the voice. But of course, this is optional.
Cabin crew, doors to arrival and cross-check.
Then you'll select career mode in the main menu. Now you select your start location, and you can choose to start anywhere in the world. And depending on what airport you chose, you will see a unique cutscene showing your avatar walking into like a little office building in the area that your airport is at. You'll then be greeted by your flight instructor, and then you'll go on a very short guided introductory flight. And assuming you actually were successful at this flight, you'll come back to the headquarters, and there you can actually continue your training. They'll actually walk you through how to take off, how to taxi, how to land, all that stuff you can do right here in the career mode. And if you're brand new to Flight Sim, I recommend you actually do that. But if you do have experience, then you can go straight on to do your private pilot certificate exam, which is another very short flight that basically has you take off, remain in a pattern, land, and that's it. But each check ride exam does cost a little bit of in-game currency. We'll talk more about the currency a little later. So now it's up to you in which direction you want to take your career. You can either focus on helicopter flying and go and get your helicopter commercial license, or you can work on your fixed wing and go ahead and get your regular commercial pilot license, where you can then move on to get your high performance endorsement, your multi-engine, your jet engine rating, and so on. And again, each of these ratings do require you to do a check ride to unlock them. As you can see here, everyone starts at a Cessna, whether you want to do search and rescue missions or airliner missions. But I do think it's nice that once you hover over a certain type of job, it shows you the path you need to take to get to that specific job. So that way you don't waste your time on ratings you don't need. So as an example, let's take a look at the multi-engine exam. So what you need to pass is respect the traffic pattern altitude, respect the traffic pattern path, and plane handling. After every mission, whether it's a exam or a regular mission, it does judge you based on how you fly. Sometimes it's based on how you talk to ATC. Sometimes it's based on how smooth your flying is, and various things based on the mission. But once that exam is passed, you'll then be able to unlock a specific aircraft you can now fly. And with that aircraft, you can now fly new missions. But alongside the aircraft ratings, there's also the specialization that you need to unlock. For example, you have charter services, search and rescue, medevac, agricultural aviation. Once you unlock these specialization, you can now actually do these missions. And each of these mission types or specializations will have a requirement. But everything ties together. For example, here with medevac, you need to have an instrument rating and the turboprop engine rating in order to unlock the medevac specialization. And for helicopter passenger transport, all you need is a commercial pilot license for your rotorcraft. And these are two aircraft that you get to fly. But for search and rescue, you need to at least be level 30 with a hoist endorsement and a turbo engine rating for rotorcraft. So you can kind of see how this is working now as far as the progression. And with the specialization unlocked and the rating locked based on your location, you'll get a world map view showing all of the missions available to you in your area based on, again, your level, your rating, and your specializations. Now, these missions are generated every single day. You'll get a new set of missions, but they're also based on the region, the time of year. For example, you're not going to go have a search and rescue for a skier in the summer in Texas. That's not going to pop up because you're not in the right location. But if you're up in Colorado during the snow season, you could potentially have a search and rescue mission to rescue a skier. So it's actually surprising that it goes into that much detail. Another really cool feature is if you've gone the route of unlocking the airline commercial missions, those missions that are generated each day are actually based off of real world flights for those airliners each day. So I thought that was pretty cool. And once you finish a mission, you do get an income. So you get a base income. Your employer, of course, does get a commission. And then also you get a reputation bonus. And now you may be thinking, okay, cool. So you get to earn income by doing flights, but what do you do with that money? Well, this is where it gets surprisingly interesting. Over time of saving up your money, you can actually start your own company. And when you start your own company, you have your own headquarters, you can buy your own aircraft, you can manage your own aircraft, and you get a lot more responsibilities. It's actually pretty interesting how that works. And now that you own your own company, there's something else you need to worry about, and that is the new wear and tear system in Microsoft Flight Sim. Yes, you have to manage the wear and tear of your own aircraft. Over time, your aircraft will wear. You have to change your oil and other various systems in the aircraft. And all these systems do actually apply to how the aircraft flies. So it's definitely going to take some time to maybe buy your own airliner because those are going to be very expensive. But you really can go from zero to hero with the career mode. And also, one more thing, you're not locked down to only flying in the region you originally selected. You can actually at any time change the location at which you want to start your missions. And the missions will be generated based on the location you're in. So say one day you want to fly in Alaska, you can choose Alaska and they'll generate missions for you around the Alaskan area. Now, the next day you want to fly in Australia, it'll do the same. So you are truly free to fly anywhere you want. And this truly is a pretty robust mission generation system. Once you start any mission, you'll get a really cool cutscene. Whether you're doing an airliner mission, you may see passengers walking down the jet bridge. If you're doing a medevac mission, you'll see, a patient maybe being loaded onto your helicopter, onto your aircraft. So they've basically made a cinematic cutscene for every type of mission you can do. And you actually see that cutscene happening in the location that you're in. But this is something that you will only see in career mode. You will not see these animations in free flight. Also, another fact that I asked the developers is that all of these career missions also can only be done fully in the the career system. If you go to free flight, you can still fly the same aircraft that you have in career mode. You can still use the sprayer on the prop duster, but it just won't generate an actual mission or fire or any of that extra special stuff. You won't see any of that in free flight, but the aircraft will still work the same. So all of that is actually currently at the time restricted to and inside of career mode. And lastly, career mode is a fully single player experience. Career mode at the time of recording this does not support multiplayer. My personal thought on that is that's just a shame. I wish we could do co-op missions together. But I am still looking forward to it, looking forward to trying it out. You definitely can't say there's nothing to do in Microsoft Flight Sim anymore, because there is plenty to do. We're going to be busy for a long time. But the question is it going to feel like a grind to kind of unlock some of the things we want, or can we get through it much quicker? Only time will tell. And if I missed anything, if you have any more questions that I forgot or missed out, please let me know in the comments, and I'll do my best to answer based on what I do know. I do have a video of me doing my first full career mode mission. So if you want to see that, go check it out after this video. But thank you so much for watching. And remember, you have 3 choices: give up, give in, and give it all you got. Peace, love, and God bless you. I'll see you guys next time, next video. I'm out. Welcome back to a very early access look at Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. We are spawning into a typical free flight scenario at a tiny airstrip called Ranger Creek State Airport, right next to Mount Rainier in the Pacific Northwest. But as you can see here, when you click start flight, it now spawns you in on foot. You can look around freely. You can walk around freely. It's actually pretty cool. You see the mountains right there, just like a first-person shooter. You can walk around with your W, A, S, and D keys, your mouse to look around. We have the EFB we can pop up there at any time, but this looks really nice. Look at that. Let's go ahead and change the weather really quickly. We'll go ahead and change the time of day a little bit, change the weather, and try to get something a bit more, I don't know, cinematic. You know, I think it works right there. Go to a few clouds. Yeah, that works. We'll do that, and I'm happy with that. Look at that. Look at that. As you know, Microsoft Flight Sim 24 now does support ray tracing. Has had a lot of graphic improvements. Look at the detail on the ground. Look at the detail on the aircraft. And you can actually go here and click on the elevator, and you can actually rotate it and move it. Look at that. And actually, you can actually go through a whole check. That's why the blue circles are there. We can examine our tail wheel right there by clicking on the blue little circle icon, and it's checked. You can check our rear strut. There we go. Examine that. And we can literally walk around the entire aircraft and click on so many different things. There's so many possibilities with this. I love that. Walking underneath the wing, you can. I mean, it's really cool. Let's go see if we can check the oil. Let's see if we can check the oil. Walk up, stand up on here, on the wheel here. Yeah, if I can get it figured out. Open up the oil cover and open up. Look at that. We can actually check the oil, and that's crazy. And it actually will change, especially if you're using career mode, because over time, if you own your own aircraft, you can actually, your aircraft can wear and tear over time. And so you do have to go and check your oil quantity and make sure your oil is good to go. So it's pretty cool that, that the walk around mode does actually interact with the aircraft in so many ways, but also you can actually have that wear and tear system integrated with it just like that. You can also remove the before flights covers and things like that. It's just, I can see so many possibilities with this. If this is what we can do now, by default, when the third-party developers get this in their hands, what are they going to do with it? What are the possibilities? This is pretty cool. I love this. We can go down here. We can check the chocks. We can check and examine our wheels, make sure nothing's going on there. We can go ahead and click on the chocks to remove them, and we can actually hover over the wheel. You can see we can actually see the condition of them. We can hover over all of these different little icons to actually check the condition. And this is pretty cool. Being able to walk around in this environment, you can see the environment, like the trees out there, the sun, the shadowing, the ground is so much more detailed. We can go ahead and click here on the aileron and rotate that to check it to make sure it's actually moving correctly. We can also check the flaps as well and examine that to make sure that's working. So I mean, everything can be moved. And this is just a little bitty X-Cab. Let's go see if there's anything in the luggage bag. Nope, it's empty. It's empty. But again, the possibilities I could see there will be endless. So definitely looking forward to that. But you can open and close it. I don't think you can put anything in here, can you? Or yeah, I don't know if anything shows up in this box yet. But that's still cool. You can actually do that. We're going to finish up our walk around. We'll check the actual rudder here. Rotate it left and right, and it looks to be good as well. Look how it stays where I left it as well. Same you can see with the ailerons. We'll check the left flap as well. And it looks good. Yep, condition is good. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Looking forward to kind of seeing what a worn aircraft may look like. I think that might be interesting. So yeah, I'm loving being able to just click and touch things here. That's one thing I like doing in real life. I love to be able to like touch the aileron and move it. It's probably not good for it, but I do like to at least do that. So let's go ahead and remove the pitot cover. Definitely do that before we leave. And we'll go over here. We'll check the left gear, main gear as well. Left tire condition looks good. And in that left strut, examine that. That looks good as well. So I guess whoever had this aircraft last been treating it pretty well. You can also see down here, we can also interact with the brake system and examine the brakes and make sure those are not worn out, both on the left and on the right side. So we'll check the right side one as well. Make sure that one's good. I think this is basically a brand new aircraft we spawned here in Free Flight. One thing I do want to mention about kind of the wear and tear system is that you're probably going to see more of that right now by default in the career mode, where you will actually find yourself flying the same airframe every time you spawn in. Because in Free Flight, sadly, in Free Flight, at the moment, when you spawn in with an aircraft, you're basically spawning in a brand new plane. So there really won't be much wear and tear to even worry about. Let's go ahead and click on the door and we can open it up. Look at that. And we're inside now, inside the X-Cub. It's pretty cool. Let's see if I remember how to fly this thing, right? Mixture rich. Yep, that should work. What else are we doing here? Yeah, propeller. That's a propeller. What about, man, it's been a while since I've flown this aircraft. And look around. It looks good, though. Cockpit looks good. We get our fuel selector set to the right tank. I guess that works. And our prop is 100%. You can see we have the AFB there. And we have the starter. No, we're forgetting something. I think we're forgetting something. Oh, yes, the battery. Of course, the magnetos. Of course. And the fuel pumps. We'll turn all that on, and we'll hit start. There! And look at that. We're rolling because we didn't set our brake. So we got to hit the toe brakes here. Hold position. You might want to watch out, lady. You standing right in front of the propeller. Anyway, we'll go ahead and continue the setup here. Get the rest of these buttons clicked. It's going to button smash everything. And, oh, look at that. Even the circuit breaker is working this aircraft. Pretty impressive. Hit continue on the G1000 there. And, yeah, look at that. Circuit breakers are all operable. Pretty cool. Default feature now for Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 is working circuit breakers. That is pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. Anyways, let's see. What else we need to do to get this thing going? I think we're good, though. Yeah, we got our EFB there. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Check to the left. Left looks clear there. And we'll go ahead and lean back and let's go ahead and roll out of here. Got our stick centered. There's the throttle. All right, there we go. She really might want to watch out. I might run her over. All right, there we go. We're rolling. And spin it around. Oh, look at that. Look at the dust kicking up. And look at the tracks. Oh, that's sick. Yeah, that's sick. Look at the tracks. Look at the tracks that we're creating in the dirt. That is pretty cool. Again, oh, look at it. As I spin it up. Look at that. Look at that. Creating tracks in the dirt, kicking up dust. That is pretty sweet. Let's see if I can get the aircraft dirty. Let's see if I can drive around in the dirt a little bit. We can get it dirty. I believe we can. So we'll go ahead and taxi around in the dirt a little bit. Let's see if we can get this baby a bit dirty. Let's get dirty out here in the bushes of the Pacific Northwest. But this is pretty cool. I'm liking the fact that we can actually create like tracks in the terrain. Very natural how the aircraft is bouncing. Again, the ground detail is it's like 4,000 times more detailed than previous versions of Microsoft Flight Sim. And look at that. You can actually see, look at that. You can see the tail getting dirty. You can see the wheels getting dirty as well. That is very nice. This Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 is going to be a massive difference for people doing bush flying. Massive difference. Yeah, that is really nice. All right, let's get turned around here. And we'll stop right here, and I think we'll hop out. Let's see if we can hop out and get a closer look at this. Set our brakes, of course. I don't want this thing to roll off. All right, we're going to hop out here, and let's take a look at the aircraft now that it's kind of a bit dirty. You can see it's still turned on, so it's still kicking up dust, but look at that. Look at the dirt kicked up on the X-Cub. I am loving that. That is so much cooler than I expected it to be. It truly is. It's true. Look at the dirt on the wheels, on the fuselage. That is impressive. Look at that. That is cool. I can't wait to get dirty out here and do some bush flying. I cannot wait. But yeah, that's impressive. Sounds are good. This is the same X-Cub from Microsoft 2020, so never had any problems with the sounds, or honestly, the aircraft is always kind of handled pretty well. But yeah, let's go ahead and hop back inside. We'll click on the door handle, and that should allow us, after we got to squat down here underneath that flap, we'll go ahead and click on the door handle and re-enter the aircraft. And let's take this bird up to, let's take it up to fly. Let's take it for a flight real quick. Now that we got her dirty, at least get in the air with it, right? We add the power, and we'll use this little cement strip for takeoff. Hopefully we have enough runway. Those are some very, very tall trees. All right, full throttle. Here we go. Let's keep it center. Here we go. All right, right rudder. Ooh, squirrely. Come on. All right, I don't know if we're gonna make it. Come on. Oh, no way. I thought it was over, but we're up. Oh my God, I really didn't think we were gonna make that, but we did. We're up in the air. Woo! Oh my God, and look at the view. Look at the sun glare. Make a left 180 back through Ranger Creek. And man, wow. Now, there are some really weird artifacting happening on the right. Again, this is a very early access version. So there's still some cleaning up to do. But, I mean, you can kind of see the idea. You can see what they're going for here in the area. This is very nice. Very nice. And so just follow down the river. See how far we can go here. Follow the airstrip. Head about southbound. Maybe we can follow the river. Maybe we can do a landing. Maybe we can land on the banks here somewhere. Now, one thing we have to keep in mind, specifically for bush flying, and if you like flying low and slow, is that because there's so much more ground detail now, there's also more collision. So if there's any rocks, all the rocks that are generated down low in these sandbanks, if you're gonna land right here, but throw it into a little slip. Oh, I don't know if this is a good idea. Yeah, we're gonna stall it. We're already stalling. We're stalling. Oh, don't go into a flat spin. Come on, keep it up. Oh my God, this is sketchy. Okay, I can do this. I got this. All right, you see those rocks down there by the river? That looks amazing. All right, watch out. Oh, we bounced it. Okay, we're okay. Oh, no, we hooked it. We hooked it. I was trying to explain before we started going down that there's so much more ground detail now. You can't just roll through bushes and berms and rocks and things like that. Now all of that stuff actually has collision. So if you're in a tail dragger plane like I am right now, and you go land on a sandy beach and there's a rock there, you're gonna actually hit your wheel on that rock, and that will cause you to tip over. And that's exactly what happened to us now. But I think you guys got the idea. The interactive walking mode is really cool. The ground detail is really impressive. And I love the fact that you can actually, get the aircraft dirty now and all the wear and tear. So really cool. Let me know what you think about all of this down in the comments. This was a lot of fun. I can't wait to do a lot more of this in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 with you guys when it releases. Thank you guys so much for watching. And remember, you have three choices: give up, give in, and give it all. You got peace.